As a dance artist, I was asked to create a piece for the Hunter Museum's Art Alive. But as I stepped into this space, standing still and listening, the shocking beauty and importance of these works supported me in making the decision to ask questions about myself and who I am instead of creating a dance. Sitting here together, allowing time and space, two very important concepts in dance and art. Transformation, on some level, has already begun to occur. These works demand that our brain change. From our understanding of the old European masters, the modern classics, postmodernism, these works present an opportunity for us to stretch our brains, our understanding, and hopefully create change. This also takes discipline. Coming from a Eurocentric arts education background, I do not want to use my limited vision. My eyes are blinded by my race and my class, which create my experiences, which have never put me in handcuffs or with a policeman's hands around my neck, or creating fear so he can place his bullet in my back. Looking sometimes limits us and prevents us from understanding a different experience. Sometimes we look through a lens that prevents us from seeing. How brutally unjust are my eyes, which have colored my world, my opinions, my education, my words, my actions. Standing here, the beauty and importance of this art clears way for me to hear. Perhaps hearing may be a more efficient way to view this art, create a new experience, and stretch my brain. Can I hear the birds singing? Can I hear the children's voices? Can I hear heavy fabric moving? Can I hear feet chained and shackled? Can I hear what sound rope makes on skin? Can I hear the sound of so many imprisoned? Can I hear the last breath taken? 20% of what we both see and hear is what we learn and retain. 80% of what we experience directly is what we learn and retain. But 90% of what we attempt to teach and share with one another stays with us the longest. To be given this opportunity to ask us questions, to question our realities, I selected this space with artists that are sharing their work that invoke fear, distrust, profit gaining, unlivable conditions. This art, for me, speaks of the lack of democracy. What experience I receive here is the need for transparency. Transparency, necessary to perpetuate democracy. With this work also comes urgency. Now is not the time to stay silent. I did a Art Plus Issues here when there was a Robert Longo up on the wall, and I just came to this space again and I saw this amazing work. And I just said, oh my gosh. So I spent some time here, and then that's what this piece is really the piece that came out of this work. And I have to tell you, as a white privileged woman, I went kicking and screaming to sit down and really create a piece that would honor the amazing social-political energy that this art has. It is also, I think, as an artist who has made pieces similar or with that intention in mind, I also know how hard it is to have people watch and come. Like when I do a dance performance at Barking Legs, I mean, if it's fun and everything, it's packed to the gills. When I do a piece that's political, I've got 5 people there. I mean, I think you have experienced it too. When you print that picture of that funny little dog with that shoe in its mouth, you get 196 likes. And then when you really put an article on there that has incredible meaning, you get maybe 3 people who might read it. So I really felt like it was time to come in and say, no, we can't continue to run away. We can't continue to look at the situations that we're being faced with every day, every moment. Right. And I also feel that it's an important time to combine art with activism. And in a way, I wish that there was no separation between these two, you know? So I asked Ashley Henderson, who if you're not a friend with her on Facebook, you should be. And CCJ, I'm constantly going and staying abreast of, wait a minute, what does Black Lives Matter? What is their campaign zero? You know, I mean, we get so much rhetoric out there. And so it's not that we have to run from each other. I think it's just time to really start the dialogue, you know, and continue being together as much as we possibly can. Ashley is in Atlanta doing important work with Project South. And at 5:47, I got a Facebook note from her, stuck in traffic. So we were hoping and keeping our fingers crossed that she would come and lead us in song and celebration and just talk about the work that she's involved with on a daily, hourly, minute basis. The questions that I kept coming to was to be honest, to stop that, well, that never happens to me, or, well, I don't know who's saying these things, and I'm like going, oh my gosh, you know, they're not happening to me because this is my color. You know, they're not happening to me because I come from a privileged background. And that, to stop everything and to listen, to really listen, and to be totally inspired by these artists.
So this song was written by Anne Feeney. Does anyone know Anne Feeney? She was a protest feminist, 70s, environmentalist, coal worker, activist, but also just workers' rights in general. So she wrote this song, and it's about Eugene Debs. We're not going to sing the whole song, but we're going to do the chorus. Okay? While there is a lower class, come on now. When there is injustice, it is done to me. Yeah. While there is a criminal element, I'm of it. While there is a soul
My grandmother told me that when you know better, you do better. So when people don't do better, I try to assume that they just don't know better. But if city council people were here and heard y'all talking about Black people, working class people's experience in the city of Chattanooga, then I'd expect their policies would change. If there were people with wealth privilege, cash privilege, class privilege, then I would expect that if they came here and they heard that like working class Black struggle in Chattanooga is real and that people are organizing, that they would put their money and their time and their resources, not just their money. We're working without their money. What we need is their support and their flank. We need them to organize other white people to stop investing in white supremacist infrastructures that keep poor Black people like not only down, but destroys their lives very literally, steals their lives off too soon. And for them to get about being a part of the work that builds the city that we actually all deserve to live and thrive and love in. So there are organizations, right? There's Concerned Citizens for Justice. I'm glad y'all were here. There's Project South, which is regionally organizing. And there's the Movement for Black Lives, which is like a united front of Black-led, Black-centered organizations across the U.S. and globe that are doing work along a multitude of frontline struggles and using lots of tactics to try to, build the world that we all deserve, where we could live and love and thrive together.
Can you direct folks to the Movement for Black Lives policy demands?
Oh, can I? Yeah. So I was a part of a leadership team of 8 people that helped facilitate a process with over 30 organizations across the U.S. And across the globe that wanted to synthesize what we were hearing from the ground that people said they wanted in terms of transformative policy demands, right? Like not just reform, not stuff that's like Band-Aids on open wounds, not stuff that we'll have to tear down later, but stuff that really transforms like the whole system and transforms the lives that people are living. And so over a year and a half, we spent like struggling, researching, developing policy, finding policy that already existed, twerking it, twisting it, trying to make it work and make it more transformative. And ultimately on August 1st launched the Vision for Black Lives. And so it's 40 policy demands in 6 categories, from ending the war on Black people to economic justice to community control to so many other pieces, invest, divest, so many different pieces. And it has been an amazing response. And so, people can check it out at policy.m4bl.org, and the 4 is the like numeric.